The Danger Academy by Tom Palmer, Chapter 2, the one where Danny has a trial to join a football academy. In the last chapter, Danny and Charlotte stumbled across a strange phenomenon. Young footballers were leaving top football clubs for a mysterious international football academy. Danny knows when something dodgy is going on in the football world, so his next move is to investigate. Danny stood outside the entrance to Vinnie Adams International Football Academy. It was 8:55 AM. His trial was due to start in 5 minutes. This was it. The day before, after the game at City FC's training ground, Danny and Charlotte had devised a plan. The only way they were going to work out why all the players were leaving other clubs to join the Vinnie Adams Academy was to get into the academy. But how? There was really only one answer. With all the football crimes they had investigated before, they needed the help of local sports writer Anton Holt. Danny had met him earlier when he was investigating the kidnap of the City FC striker Sam Roberts 2 years earlier. This was how the conversation went when Danny called him. Anton, Danny, how are you? Fine, I need you to get me into the Vinnie Adams Football Academy. Do you? Yes. When? Tomorrow, Danny had said. There was a pause at the other end of the line. Holt was thinking, Danny knew that. But what he liked about Holt was that the journalist trusted Danny. Even though Danny was a child and Holt was an adult, he always went with Danny's instinct. The trial cost £5,000, Holt said. Oh, Danny replied. You think there's something dodgy going on in there? Holt asked seriously. Yes, Danny said. So do I, Holt went on. I've been trying to work out what for months. There are loads of rumours about Adams, but nothing has ever been proved. Holt paused, then spoke again. Be there at 9 AM tomorrow. But who'll pay? Danny asked. My newspaper, Holt replied. Don't worry. And that was it. Sorted. But Danny had not arrived at 9 AM. He'd come at 7. Why? Because he wanted to watch, gather evidence he could before he went in. He'd brought a small pair of binoculars with him. The academy was based next to an old World War II airfield in one of the old hangars. Danny observed it from across the disused runway. There was a small wood where he could sit and watch. Most of what he saw did not seem unusual. Cars arriving at 8:30 AM, parents dropping boys at the academy, men carrying bags of balls and football kits. But Danny did see two things that made him want to ask questions. First, a man walking across the runway to a large derelict hangar at 7:43 AM, pushing a trolley. What was he doing? Second, a set of lights going in on what looked like the second floor of the academy. Two figures moving about. What was up there? Danny knew that by asking questions like these, he'd have a chance of finding something else. Inside the academy was amazing. It reminded Danny of a cathedral. Right in the entrance was a massive photo of Vinnie Adams, his face beaming down from on high. There was also a shop selling Vinnie Adams tea towels and key rings and footballs and books and DVDs. In the shop, Danny took the chance to pose his first question. What's upstairs? He asked the woman. What offices? There's no upstairs, the woman said, smiling. But there was something in her eyes that told Danny that she was lying. Once he announced who he was, Danny was led through the corridor of assigned Vinnie Adams shirts and photos, like a gallery of Adams' greatest moments with a narrow corridor leading off to the right. Somewhere for Danny to have a look later. Maybe it was the way upstairs. Then he was asked to sit down with 19 other boys to watch a live video link, Vinnie Adams welcoming them to his academy. Adams explained by video that Danny was pretty sure was not live, that the players had 2 days to prove they were great footballers, and that if they passed the trial, they could be playing for a major European football club within a year. As the video went on, Danny turned to the boy to his left. Did you pay £5 for this? He asked, interested to see if the others had got there because they were good at football or because they were rich. Yeah, the boy answered, as one of the coaches scowled at them for talking. 20 lads, Danny thought, £5 each. That's £100,000. And if they do this every 2 days, that's over 15 million a year. Where does all that money go? He wondered. Danny's trial went a lot better than he expected. He thought he'd be the worst player by miles. In fact, he was one of the best. But he knew it was not because he was good, it was because the others were so bad. They did some running, some passing, some shooting, and Danny had to admit it seemed just like a training session they'd watched at City FC. Same techniques, normal, nothing weird about that. At the lunch break, Danny decided to take a walk, do some more investigating. He'd seen nothing odd that worried him, and he needed to find out something to justify Anton spending £5,000 on him. They had an hour's break to eat a healthy meal in the canteen. Danny grabbed a sandwich and told the others he was going to the toilet. Danny quickly found the corridor that led off to the hallway of signed shirts. He checked he was alone, then he pushed the door. A sign on it read no entry. Once he was the other side, he listened. Could he hear anything? No, nothing. He walked on. All the doors had labels: store, generator, meeting room 1, meeting room 2, kit room. But there was one unmarked door. Why was it unmarked and the others were marked? Danny couldn't resist doors that did not have a label. On the other side he found a staircase going upwards. So there was no upstairs then. Danny listened again before going up. There was no sound, like it was empty. Slowly, carefully, Danny climbed the stairs, keeping his head low at the top. In front of him was a large open area, well lit. It was the same area he'd seen people walking around in the morning when he was watching from the woods. At the far end there were 2 doors, one with a light on, one without. Danny walked cautiously over to the doors. If he could see or hear anything that was going on, or that he might know whether it was just a more normal football academy, as it seemed, or something more sinister. He was nearing the first door when he heard it, a loud noise that seemed to make the whole academy shake. At first he thought, earthquake. His body went into automatic squat self-preservation. That was when he saw it, through the window, a large grey aeroplane landing on the runway. Curious about what could be arriving at what was meant to be a disused airport, Danny stumbled over to the window. Would the plane have people in it, or materials? He stared out, wishing he'd not left his binoculars downstairs in his bag, and as the engine noise faded to silence, he heard another sound. Footsteps on the stairs behind him. Someone was coming up, and Danny didn't have anywhere to escape to.